What's happening?
Not a lot. What's going on with you?
Another day in paradise, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So I gotta ask. I made a post and you commented on
I
it.
did. Wait,
How you know?
I was gonna say
Wait,
I don't do it often, so I
no.
think I know what you're
Okay.
talking about.
So there was a post, was a video, and
Okay.
this woman was fiercely talking about um, the culture of getting married, right? And I don't know if you remember, it was like, why would a man get married? Like, a man can cook, a man can clean,
Oh,
a man can get
yeah.
sex, and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. And then I had posted, and I'll read a quick part of it. And I said, I'm going to give a quick nugget. And it says, men make her feel safe and desired, women bring him peace. And it says, someone has to go first. And it said, if he comes home and all you do is bitch and complain, he is checking out and truly wishes you would die in a fiery crash. Which someone else told me that was mean, but I was like, "You've never been married, because yeah." So,
Wow.
and then it says, "Men catch hell all day at work, blah 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 blah," and you don't want to come home and hear you complain. And then it says, "Men, if you aren't complimenting your chick and smacking her on her ass and letting her know that you desire her," and I wrote, "I promise you, someone else is." Someone else is saying to her, "Man, if you was my girl, blah da
Mm.
da 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 da." And then you said,
Oh, you gonna read my response?
I
You
don't,
can if it's. I don't know how long it is. Is it
it's
too
not,
long?
it's quick.
Okay.
You said, women want peace too, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, and a little more than a smack on the tush, though you are correct in the sentiment, we are a little more complex than the physical. Both want to feel value and like the person desire them to even be there. So my question to you
That's a
is,
wrap for this right here. We'll just go.
right. Thanks. Bye bye.
Bye
Yeah.
bye.
No, no, no.
No.
Because I need you to explain to me. You said we are a little more complex than the physical.
I think that you think. I think to think, and I don't know if this is implied you or not. I think to think that.
I said it because I said smack her on her ass
Yeah.
and tell her you look good, baby.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that we're more complex than that. I think
Give it
this.
to me.
Oh,
All
okay.
right.
Let's go backwards to the peace. What makes a man feel peace?
Okay. Okay. This is mean in its first words, but just quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Also, um, I believe, to me, um, it could just be a sandwich, like
Yeah.
and I mean this, like, and I'm
Like
being very for real.
no, you're
Like
looking at
I'm
it from a
saying, like,
food, water, shelter. Like your needs are
like
very basic.
what I'm saying to me, if I have someone who um, gives me peace, allows me to be a sounding board for a little bit, but it's like, let me detox. I used to always say that, like, give me a minute. To me, that's peace. Like when you cross through that threshold,
It should be your haven, your safe
it should
haven.
be your safe
And
haven.
I think
If you
that
cross through that threshold
yeah.
and you got a honeydew list, or you're just blah 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 blah, that's not peace.
No, and I think that women are looking for peace too. It just comes in a, I want to feel safe. I want to feel valued. And I was just acknowledging that smacking someone on their behind isn't the way you show someone value.
Okay, let me back up. I gotta stop you. You asked me a question.
Well,
What is peace for you?
I just told you part of it. Just when I say feeling safe, there's that.
That's peace.
Yes, because women operate in this space of their minds are wandering 100 miles a minute. If we are in a situation that we are able to feel love and value in a space that isn't about sexuality. Like you said, you smack them with a button, tell them they're cute. It's so much deeper than that. When I say peace, I mean just because peace to you is inclusive of sandwiches and needing to detox, peace for us is feeling safe and valued, but not just in a physical sense. That you
Okay.
are creating a space because sometimes y'all are problem solvers, and we're not looking for that. We can detox and say, "This is what happened at my job today," or "I am so tired of this friend because of that." We're not looking for solutions. We're not asking for you to fix our problems. We just want to be able to vent unjudged and without someone trying to solve it. Unless a wife says to you or a woman says to you,
Yeah.
"Babe, what do you think I should do?"
Okay.
I always think, I think we, even as friends, had got to this place where we were like, "I'm just venting." Because
absolutely.
yeah, because
Yes.
because I think your natural go to, maybe the woman's natural go to is honeydew. Natural go to for guys, like how can I fix her problem?
Correct.
So when I and you looked at me when I say peace, a peace is figurative in all the things that make me feel safe bring me peace. The problem that I see, and I think we talked about this, you said I think earlier someone's got to make the first move. If you didn't read that, that was part of your
Yes.
your
Yes.
the
Yes.
thread. You were saying somebody's got to make that first move. That's the biggest challenge.
Okay. See, I'll say this. I look at the word peace as the word peace.
Like
Peace.
just peace.
Like peace.
Right.
I don't need your peace is like a series of things.
Yes, because and I don't know that men, when I say this, I'm not saying guys don't do this, but if you ask most women, if you don't have a calmness of my boo who's got me in all the ways, our minds will race all night. What do we have to do tomorrow? Is my kid happy? What did I make the lunches? Did I remember this? Is the report done? Did I miss something? Why doesn't Susie like me at work? Like our wheels are constantly turning.
I think men's wheels are constantly turning, which is why to me the word peace, by its own definition, is just that. Peace.
Yeah.
I think if you're adding to the day-to-day rigmarole, that's not bringing him peace. So I'll say it is definition by itself, the peace part. And I hear you, because it's more than just silence for a woman.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, we're quite the opposite. If we were going by that, our silence, the silence that sometimes, I remember years ago, there was a psychiatrist or something that said, or it was in the weekend room where we went to, and she said, you've got to allow your husband to rubber band. Like, they spring back to you, but you kind of have to, like, whether there's a distance or whether and I just think if you create too much of that space for a woman, we see that as indifference and not caring. And so I don't know that I subscribe to that anymore, because I think it's fine for a period of time. And you've said I need to, maybe you're not detox, but I need to kind of,
I said detox.
For an hour a day, the night. This is a hard day. But if your detox is weeks or days, you're going to run into a woman who's probably going to hound you, because she's going to be trying to figure out, like, well, why isn't he talking?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah.
And I mean, let's reverse that. We don't typically operate that way. But imagine if you were with someone that was just withdrawn from you.
Okay. Right.
Right? Like,
been there.
Yeah. So,
yeah. She wrote down a name.
Yeah. That didn't feel great.
No.
So I just think.
Well, it ended the way I thought it was going to end.
But I feel like I think we're set up in this way where our fundamental DNA of how we're made up. I think all I was saying in your post is that we aren't created that differently. Like, to hear someone say, we just don't want a nag. Well, we can insert a chicken and egg with that, because if you are not withdrawing and you are communicating, then you can generally tell your wife, your spouse, your girlfriend, whatever, where you stand, and we're not sitting here we don't want to play guess-a-roo.
Okay.
So I think it's really, to me, all of it, boy, I should have said.
And I was saying in the simplistic form was, if you at least compliment your woman, have physical touch, like I said, smack her on the butt, let her know, you still got it, baby. I think that
it's a great start. It's a great start.
I'll tell you this. I bet you receive the other guy's compliments a little less caring, because you're like, yeah, I know my man told me before he left.
See,
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, you're right about that. If you are in a situation where someone, I'm old school with the James Ingram, the compliment what she does, because there's a line in that song that says,
1,000 ways.
It says, there could be an old lover in her memory. If you need her so much more, why don't you say? And that is true.
Okay.
So what I'm saying,
and that's my point.
Yes. So no, but I feel like it's still it's a little simplistic to say if you smack her on her behind, she's going to be happy. Like, it's a start. Women want to feel valued. Women want to feel, especially as we age, women want to feel physically desired still, because we live in a society of a
Okay.
double standard, right?
Absolutely.
New model,
Yep.
cuter girl, younger, all that stuff.
Yep.
So you do want to make and let's be honest, it's flipped. Women, no, you think all this stuff with Mufasa or whatever his name is, and what's his name? The dude that everyone thinks is the hottest thing. I can't think of his name right now. Aaron, whatever.
Who's Mufasa?
He plays in the live action movie of Mufasa. He plays Mufasa.
Idris.
No,
Elba?
it's Aaron something.
Oh, I have no idea.
And all the women love him, young and old. Everybody.
Oh, the guy with the hair.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah. The guy with the chin and the hair.
You said the chin and the hair.
You talking about Lisa Bonet's husband?
No,
Oh, I really don't.
this guy,
I have no
You
idea.
don't know
Oh, I
that?
saw that movie.
Aaron Pierre.
Okay.
He is everybody thing, and he's done this dance. So it's like a thing, and the
Okay.
women. I can't tell you how many pictures I've had in-laws and others that will like, oh look, check out this picture. Oh, check out. So I think, yeah, and then we've had this conversation several times. I think we create a double standard. That's all I was saying to that is that same things that when this woman's falling out about he don't need you, it applies to women. That's all I was saying. If the things that you could say, if a guy realizes he doesn't need, or if a guy realizes he don't need you, and I can say the same thing about if a woman realizes she don't need you, you're the same pickle. You want to be,
You're right. I will give you that. I was simply saying that you got to at least be doing that. That's just me. You can, okay. I'm going to go back to what you just said. I just thought about it. I can pay the bills.
Mm-hmm.
I can check off all the boxes. Mm-hmm. The savings account, the bills, where there's provision.
Yeah.
Then you feel safe. Like I could be strong and safe. I can have a gun. I could be a sharpshooter. There's a lot. I could be a karate expert.
And we
So
probably
I'm
need to
saying,
talk, when I say safe, we're not talking about, I know that's the other complexity of it all. Like, I don't just mean physically.
okay, what do you mean?
Safe is that ability to be vulnerable and to share.
Okay.
Yes.
I can even listen to you
Yeah.
and go, honey, that's a great story. You could be a Phil Dunphy, right? From Modern
that's a
Family,
good
right?
example. Yeah, that's a good example.
But if that dude is not telling you you're hot and smacking you on the butt,
That's true.
then all that other stuff
So
don't
what's your
matter.
thing? Because you could do you're saying as long as you cook, you
What am I saying?
I think
I'm saying is,
men want to hear, thanks for slaying the dragons, babe. Thanks for doing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm saying is, I believe I could slack on, I could miss a payment on something, but if you're still feeling good about my desire for you, that I have
that's
my
fair.
eyes on you.
I mean, if you're responsible, you're right.
yeah.
You
Like,
can
I
absolutely.
I
That
could
is
slack.
absolutely not the most important thing on my mind. Is that you can pay my
The provision, the
no,
provision piece, yeah.
And provision. We've talked about this a lot. This is a lot for this segment, but provision, you and I both know, is a very big umbrella. It's not
Right.
just providing. Provision is, are you covering your spouse?
Absolutely.
And they're like, the viewers are like, well, what does she mean by covering her spouse? I don't know. Should I explain what I believe covering your spouse is?
100%.
Okay. When I say covering your spouse, it means mind, body, spirit. When you talk about hitting her on the ass, you are covering your spouse. You are making her feel special. You are making her feel desired. If you are covering your spouse, then some dude, to your point, at the grocery store that says blah, blah,
Damn,
blah,
baby.
blah,
Yeah.
you're like, yes, ma'am, thank you. My husband told me this morning.
Boom.
Yes.
Right.
You don't want to leave her thirsty and
because
dry.
what she's gonna say is, "You really think so?" Right? And then that opens it. Now she's standing there because she's receiving
Yeah.
it, right? And like what I'm saying is, but if you
Tell me
cover
more,
that,
tell me more.
yeah. If you cover that, then you'd be like, "Thank you, I appreciate it. I was already feeling good this morning because my man told me so."
Right.
Boom.
But so it's covering. And so for me, it's not as simple as saying, oh, well, you making sure, that I don't know. I mean, you want light, but I'm just saying,
Light.
you're right. It's not as simple as food, water, shelter.
Yeah.
Some people think provision is
Food, water, shelter.
food, water, shelter.
Yeah.
And it's just.
But I've learned from you, and even my youngest son had this conversation recently. There's some people who want to make sure that they're covered spiritually,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay. So even in that aspect, I have learned that even when men ask a woman to follow them, so they can lead.
Right.
That person needs to know that you're being led.
And I think
Right?
if you are
Like you got to be led for you to be to lead.
I think if you are with someone who's got your back, who taps your butt, who rubs your feet, who makes you feel special. Women want to feel special.
Yep.
Women always want to feel like they were chosen forever.
Yep. Yeah.
And when you do that, you are going to get someone that's going to say to you, "Where do you, babe? I have a great opportunity, and you're going to go. You are more inclined to go." Are we
You
talking
talking about travel?
like live? Like if you're like, "Oh my gosh."
Oh, I think that
Was that not what you meant?
that goes back to my being led. Because
Oh, I thought that's what you meant.
No, that's exactly what I meant.
Yeah.
Because I believe if someone says, I know we'll say husband, I know my husband is a man of God and he is being
He's prayed
led.
about it.
Right.
He's prayed
and
about
so
it.
if he says, babe, something is telling me that we need to move to Mexico City for an opportunity, if you are slapping her on the butt, telling her she looks good, and she knows you got her and still desire her,
Got her back.
I think she's going.
She'll go anywhere.
But I believe if you pay the bill, what you said, if it's food, water, and shelter, and she don't feel desired, we ain't moving there.
No, I think you got to check the boxes that you are going to give me what I need. And here's what I've learned. And I don't know, when I say this, I don't know if I'm going to word it correctly. And it's not this simplistic. Because spiritually speaking, there's scripture, and I don't know what it is because I'm not great with scripture, but it says the whole, for when you marry, you cleave, you leave the the mother and father and cleave to the husband.
Yep.
So we are designed, I think, to make this transition that this becomes our unit.
It's our unit.
So when you are expecting, and I think people go wrong in this, I think when you are expecting that in your unit, I can't think of who it was, who said, we're 8-year-olds. Someone said that. Oh, Mel Robbins quoted that. Like, we're all just still 8-year-olds.
Okay.
So when you think in terms of what you needed as a person, we don't stop needing those things. We've just transferred power over to this husband or wife.
Okay.
And so when you are in the space, the same way you are with your parents, and this person makes you feel these things,
Okay.
you are more inclined. Like, you would trust fall with your parents. You get in a car and you go on vacation with them. You trust your parents wholeheartedly with every bit of your being that they do not have any or mean any harm by you. That is exactly what you should be getting from your partner.
100%.
And I think then you're in this exploration of adventure.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. It should
Yeah.
it should feel like one. It should feel like you're jumping off this cliff and you're jumping into life.
Wherever you go, I go.
And where you go.
Let's do this.
Yes, we'll do this thing. But when you are missing snippets of the basic needs, and when you think about it, it's something you said that it's like it makes perfect sense. When we're children, we need physical touch.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. I mean, would you want to be with somebody who never touched you?
Me? No.
So I think I don't even know if it's, so I think the problem I had with it is that you made it sound so simplistic that if you just smack her on the butt, she's, and it is, I
believe
said,
there's a woo that
Yeah.
comes with it
No.
that has a trickle
no,
effect.
and I do believe that, but I believe we create a space when we choose our person and we are loving them in the same ways. We aren't wired that much different because and I don't mean this arrogantly, but if you have rewound to 2000, if you have rewound to 1996, I was meeting all those needs on my own. So when I hear someone say,
You were smacking your self on the
no, no.
I was like, what?
Get it up there, Big Daddy.
Yeah.
No, but when you said,
Oh, you're talking about the provision.
yes. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
like
yeah,
to hear
yeah,
people
yeah.
say, well, what if he can cook? What's he need you for? It's like we all can, in theory, we all can take care of ourselves.
Facts.
So I think it's a mutual.
There's too many restaurants for us to start.
Well, that too. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying
yeah.
is when people say, I cook, I clean, I whatever, right? I look at me as an individual. Can I cook? Yes. Okay.
Do you want to?
Yeah, whatever.
That's
right?
a different thing.
Right? Is my
Right.
house clean? Pretty
Right.
much, but I
Yeah.
can hire a maid.
Right.
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 What else? Cook. What is it?
No,
Cook, clean. What is it?
I don't know.
But anyway,
I'm
yeah, all
sorry.
those things can be
Yeah.
farmed out.
And
Let's just be honest.
and I just
so
think,
yeah, you're right. You have to be
yeah.
more than just.
But I think you're wired as a guy. You're wired in the hunter-gatherer way, and women are wired in the nurturing. Women are the neck of the head, or whatever the saying is. So we do require some basic things differently, because when we live in our society that makes us feel chosen, we create this space of that desire that we need. And I think when we feel safe, when people feel safe and valued, they will actually extend more of their vulnerability to someone else, and
That's
they'll
a
be
fact.
more inclined to meet their needs.
That's a fact. That's why can't make new friends.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because I'm not gonna be vulnerable.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like it's hard. I don't have.
We'll save that one. That's a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
About meeting
50
new
years
friends.
making new
Yeah,
friends.
it's
Yeah.
a tough one. I mean, it can be done, and I have met a circle of 1 or 2 people that I'm very thankful for now that I met in the last 5 to 10 years. But I still, is it the same as like my core friendships that I've known since I was
Right. 15,
15?
12.
Probably
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Are they going to dig a hole and bury a body for me? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you would do that. I'm just saying our friends are more inclined to like expect more from us
Yeah.
when we've had them for friends for a while.
Yeah.
So I just felt like it just felt like sticky, like we were like Fred Flintstone and Barney Rebel
Yeah,
and
drag 'em by the
Wilma.
hair.
Yeah, just if
Yeah.
and they'll love it.
Yeah.
Just smack them and they'll be fine. It's deeper than that.
But you definitely. Well, let me ask you
And
this.
it was the video for me too. Also, the lady.
She was very. Her energy was. Her energy was not kind to women.
And sometimes a lot of those videos aren't. We put out so much on the woman.
Yeah, yeah. It's Kevin Samuels' era. I mean that.
Yeah.
Like that dude made an impact in the very short 2 years
Yeah.
that he was here. Famously,
Mm.
he was here for a long time.
Yeah.
Internet wise, yeah. But so there was a meanness about it that you probably responded to, but I was like, I didn't say the mean stuff. I
No.
was saying, hey, I'm real, but I meant it for women to the men and men to the women. Like give him peace.
You gave both, and this.
But
is
I
what-
was also
yeah.
saying, this dude, you gotta tell your girl she look good because somebody else gonna tell her.
Yeah.
Like you can put her in a BMW, you can have a second home, you can
Yeah.
let her buy all the clothes in the world she wants. But if you are not making her feel desired,
Sexy.
it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
And I think we've moved away from a space that we've marginalized, minimized women I'm glad you did say that part. That doesn't mean it would be a personal choice for me necessarily, but you are right. If you are not, and maybe I'm going to eat my own words here, creating a space that you don't cover your woman in that space is the same space, and I say this probably affectionately, but chauvinistically, is the same space that I believe as a mother you create with your daughters when you don't have someone that's making her feel not objectified in the same way.
No.
But you
100%.
create her.
You always say you should be your daughter's first.
First love,
boyfriend,
first
love, first
everything is a comparison to your
Yep.
dad.
Yep.
And next thing is everything is a comparison to your dad and how your dad treated your mother. That's an observation they make. And they'll either fall in line with it or they'll fall into the same trap. But you should treat your children like they're daddy's little girl. Nobody's
Yeah.
good enough
Yeah.
for you.
I will say this to piggyback off of that. I was divorced young. No, I'm sorry. My children were young when we divorced.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were like 5 and 2, 4 and 1. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Like early on.
Yeah.
I am forever grateful that my ex-wife remarried, and she remarried a damn good man.
Yeah.
Because my sons got to see their mother being honored as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Opening car doors.
Oh yeah.
Dates.
Yeah.
Vacations.
Yeah. When we were at
Yeah.
your son's grad party, I could tell that is his boo. Like I always use the boo.
Oh,
That I was like, this
100%.
man loves her. I mean,
Yes,
I know
yes,
y'all
yes.
sing it, but when I look at them too, when I look at that
And
dude,
I'm so happy for
Yeah.
her.
and that
yeah.
makes her better for her kids. It makes her better, and it
As a
really,
better human being, and
Yeah.
the experience of being a mother and the
yeah.
whole 9
She's
yards.
feeling-
yeah.
yes,
I've always
it's
said
like
the
if you-
greatest thing that they
Right.
got to see was their mother
yeah,
being
being
honored.
loved and adored, and like if you pour, I know I've seen
I
this
didn't know
before.
you said. I didn't know you saw that.
Yeah, something happened, and I was like, he aims to really make her happy. I don't remember what it was.
yeah.
But he was like, "Oh, babe," like it was, and she wasn't. It flowed well. Like they seem like they connect. They're like
Yeah.
good together.
Yep.
But he was making sure that she had what she needed
Yeah.
for that event and for
Yes.
her, and not for the event, but whatever she needed to. But look at that component. Like that's peace. Not specifically like we talk about peace when I say like I don't get it, but that's
brought
what
it
I
on
mean.
home there. That was
Yeah.
pretty good. No, that was pretty good. That was
So,
pretty good.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I think and then so I'm not in the throes of their life, but I feel like when you pour the water and the plant grows, it has a return, a
Yeah.
yield. Is that the word we use? The
Yeah,
right word?
yeah.
So I think so I just
It bears
yeah,
fruits.
yeah,
It bears
bears
fruit. Yep.
very good fruit.
Yep.
And then he's going to feel peaceful because she's like, babe, what you need?
Yeah.
Like, well, how can I help you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know. So, but I don't know. There's so much we see on Facebook is so divisive. Like, she don't need you. If
I
he
saw
don't,
one the other day that said that you're not a man if you don't make $300,000.
Oh, Lord.
I was like,
you know,
what the hell? Like,
yeah.
I even tried to talk to my sons about that. I was like, dude, don't get caught up into this crazy people who just say stuff.
They say stuff, or they may not even have a person, or they suck.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what
true.
I mean? Like
That's true.
I saw one and I was like, oh, they bait. Like, what is this and why are they recording it? But he was doing something and the lady was like, that's not good enough, because I think they were going on a date. You might have posted it where they were going to eat or something, and he was taking her to Cheesecake Factory or something.
Oh, that
and
famous cheesecake.
And she felt like,
that
yeah.
went all
Yeah.
across the United States.
I was like, what's wrong with her?
Yeah. She was recording it.
Right. Well, still,
Yeah.
it's terrible.
And even he said, are you recording me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that went bad, and that backfired bad on her because she looked like the crazy. But she, unfortunately, what she did was solidified a lot of people's stereotypes about middle-aged
Women.
black women.
Yeah.
That they're in that space, and there's some people I think have tried to get the notoriety of fame because they've tried to say, I'm not a cheesecake girl. Right? I mean, you taking somebody who's out, have dated and older and whatever. To me, it's funny. I can't imagine if I was going out on a date with someone and they told me that the place that I chose was not good enough for them.
Now, let me ask you, at 50, are you going to Chili's?
If I wanted Chili's, I'd go to Chili's.
And there's no judgment on this. What I'm saying, I'm asking. I'm seeking to understand what's the question.
I don't have I'm such a low bar. I mean, like, I don't. First of all,
and food is you don't eat out a lot, so your food dynamic is like you're not you know what I mean. Like somebody's like, oh,
well, but I love experiences.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, it would be a quick let me Uber you home person. Like someone could not say to me, why did we just pull up to Applebee's? No one could say that to me.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you were dating someone and she's like, babe, I got a surprise for you. We're going to spend the weekend away. And you pulled up to a Howard Johnson's or a Best Western. Are you going to be like, my babe thought of me and I'm going to go and enjoy myself?
I'm going with it.
Okay.
I don't have that.
I'm only using that because you do kind of have hotel bouginess.
I do have hotel
your point
snobbery, but
is
let me tell you this. Let me tell you my food thing.
Yeah.
You know how I am about food.
Yeah.
If you cook me beanie weenies, I'm eating it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to say, I don't want this.
Okay.
I'm 50 years old. Why the hell are you serving me beanie weenies?
Okay.
Because if someone took the time to do that for me,
you're going to say she took the time.
I'm grateful.
Okay.
I'm grateful.
And I think that's wonderful because
I'm so blown away by these miserable, lonely fucks who just who say these things that I'm like, who the hell are you?
It's
that
all
if
about
someone took the time to, because if I'm at a place in my life where I'll give one, I don't want to choose Spirit. But if someone said we're going away for the weekend and I get to the airport and we're loading on Spirit, I'm not going to say a word.
Or Frontier or any of
that.
You're
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm pretty in particular. I feel like I feel like what people are looking for is the gratefulness. They want to be thought of. They want to know that you considered them. And if someone has a gesture for you, you don't have specifics about the gesture.
No.
And I agree with that.
No.
I completely
And I
agree
think
with that.
that's why I'm so blown away now. Like I'm when I say I'm lost, I am lost and bewildered at someone's inability to just receive. Like you have no idea who this person is, what they're about, what their life experiences are. It could have been their last $100 to take you to wherever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it could be They picked up $100 bill out of a jar on their way out of the house to say, I just grabbed this quick 100. We're going to go here.
Right.
But I have thousands of
Right. You
dollars at
don't
home.
know.
You don't
Right.
know.
You don't know people's
And so the
situation.
stupidity of people, and I continue to say this, is, well, let the experience be the experience.
Yeah.
Like, and if you are someone of means, okay, and I still stand by this, and I say this all the time. If you are someone of means and you're dating someone who just doesn't know, then the what you do is just welcome them into your world and humble yourself and get to theirs, and y'all find a happy medium.
That's a good way to put it. I think that's an excellent way to put it.
Right.
Like you're both gonna learn from each other.
That's it.
That's it. I agree with you. on that.
Like I say this, if I don't have a shoe game. I don't have a shoe game, right? If I went out on a date and a girl looked at my shoes and said, this dude's shoes are terrible, right? Let's say we continue to date and we can forge the relationship. I would expect this person to say, you ever thought about, upping up your shoe game?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no, they're just shoes. Well, let me just take you, right? You don't have to shame me.
Right.
You don't have to, and I'm going to do the men's side too. You don't have to shame me. Just introduce me to it. See if it's something I would go, oh, I didn't know I liked that, or
Yeah,
these
right,
look good.
sure.
I'm going to give you an example. If I dated someone who wore cheap jewelry, I would never say, why are you wearing that J.C. Penney? Nothing
Yeah.
against J.C. Penney, whatever. I would say to this person, hey, I would like to introduce you to this.
Yeah.
Right? If I was in a gift giving person, I would say, hey, I just want to make sure you like these earrings because I saw them. I'm not going to say, you wear cheap jewelry and it drives me crazy. I'm just going to say, hey, I have an appreciation for quality jewelry and I want to introduce you to it. To me, that is just, my son right now is dating someone who hasn't traveled as nearly as much as him. I don't believe you have to dim your light. I also believe you don't have to shame someone else for not doing it. Someone else's, we call it the flex. Me and Carter were talking about this. Your flex may be business class. You may fly business class or first class every time you go somewhere. But if I don't know that and I buy you a plane ticket for us to go to Mexico, I don't believe you should be like, time out. I don't fly coach. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's no difference saying time out. I don't do Cheesecake Factory.
Right.
You could fly to coach, enjoy the experience, and then later on say to me, hey, next time I want you to fly first class
Yeah.
to see if you like it.
Yeah.
Because I've been fortunate enough in my life where I've flown first class. I don't mind being back there, but I want to introduce you
Sure.
to it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just think that that's what's lost is the experience of I may be strong somewhere, you may be strong somewhere.
Finding that balance.
Like if I met you and you go, my credit score is 850, and I go, ooh, mine's is 550, right? I don't think you should look at me like I'm a piece of dirt.
Right.
I think you should just go, well, let's work on that.
Yeah.
Because I know how to get you there.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's how we all should be living as growing, is be exposing ourselves potentially to someone who can make us better, even if we don't we don't want to be treated like we're a project, but we have the ability.
No, but if somebody has a skill set or whatever,
Right.
but I just think that again, if your flex in life is I only fly first class or I only eat at McCormick and Schmidt or whatever.
Oh, I don't have any flex, do I? I was sitting there thinking, like, what is?
I
my
don't have a
thing?
flex. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
tell you, I can do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm down for the get down or whatever. We're gonna have a
Yeah.
good time.
Yeah.
Let's have a good time.
Yeah.
Because I have taken dates to the bookstore
Yeah.
as my first date,
Yeah. Okay.
and I love it, and
Yeah.
they love it.
Yeah.
But if someone said to me, well, are you not spending money or you no, I wanted to go to the bookstore, see what you read, introduce you to something.
Yeah.
Like if I lived in New York, I would take somebody to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, that's a thing, but
Right. Well, no. Yeah, I get it. I get
yeah.
it.
So no, I just think that yeah, no, you can make me beanie weenies. Now, every time,
You're gonna have beanie weenies Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
well, I'm gonna say, hey, You ever thought about buying like Stouffer's or you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just gonna be like, let's
Or Thursday, you make dinner and you create something else.
again.
Yeah.
If it's all about where you are in life, and
No.
I don't think it's about appreciation of,
Yeah.
hey, let me do this for you. Because if you are a man and you are dating someone who is of means, my appreciation could be washing your car, like it just could be like.
Absolutely.
You got a really nice Jaguar SUV.
Right.
Let me
take care of it for you.
this. And she might say, "Oh, I have a guy."
Yeah.
You know, what I'm saying? I don't
Yeah.
know. Like, but just
Yeah.
just meet people where they are
I
and
agree
let
with that.
them.
Well, I mean, that's probably maybe that's what the lady should have said on the video. Just meet people where they are.
Yeah,
Maybe
she was again.
Like, what if you don't meet
abrasive
these
about it.
requirements? Why does he need you? And all I'm saying is, well, we can make the same argument because we're really in 2025 in a space that men and women can do the same things.
Equally,
I mean,
100%.
I mean,
equally, 100%
most things.
equally.
Like I can't drag a couch down the steps by
You
myself.
can pay somebody.
But I could pay somebody to do it. Yeah,
You can
yeah,
pay
yeah,
somebody
right,
to do it. I
right,
tried to make a cake. It
right.
failed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
But I'm saying is I can
You
try.
can try to make a cake.
And if I can't, I
right.
just call somebody, go to bakery.
Right.
So you're right. But what you cannot farm out is love, vulnerability. What do you call it when you're supporting someone? Well, support.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cheerleading.
Cheerleading. I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say
You can't.
cheerleading.
Yeah, you can't. You can't.
I think when you do those things for a woman, and maybe those things are what those are, not just a smack on the butt. But if you do things, it's like pouring on the water, and you're going to get someone, even if you came in the house and said, "Babe, I just need 10 minutes today just to reframe." She's gonna give you 10 minutes.
Yeah.
She should give you 10 minutes.
Right.
She might give you the night. Like, okay, just come circle back to me when you're ready to talk.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
I think, yeah, I get it.
Would you show in on my text? No, you didn't.
No,
I'm
I didn't.
teasing.
I was
You did.
just-
You
I
didn't
just-
go in. You were just
No.
like it's more than
It's
that.
more, yeah, it's deeper than just patting somebody on the butt. But you are not wrong that there is something in our DNA, and I can't speak for all women, but I confidently can say that most of us do want to feel physically appreciated
I think so.
because there's such a societal norm as to how we age, particularly everything's
Yep.
distinguished with men, and women are like, oh, she's not hot anymore.
Yeah, she's
you
old.
got
Yeah.
to make your woman feel sexy and hot for
Yep.
sure.
Okay. I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
This was actually a fun one.
Yep.
This was a fun one. And
All right. Till the next time.
Till the next time, you guys take care.